the last number is, and the last number is 5. Let's see if we use this. I'll be modeling a lot of it, so just keep a track of it. Okay? I'll tell you a little something about me. I passed out from Safar College. I majored in history. I did my BA in history. Me and Sam were batchmates. And I immediately applied for Teach for India. I got in. And I didn't know what to expect. I had volunteered with a couple of schools initially and stuff. And I had a great time. And but Teach for India has been a crazy experience. I have been... This is my class. I was teaching the 2nd grade and I can't tell you how adorable they are. They were named the Einsteins. Okay, they were really cute and it was really hard for me initially to like be strict with them and like get them to sit and be firm and like it was really tough. But I had to. If I didn't do that, they'd be bouncing all over me. Okay, luckily I was blessed with an amazing class. While I walked out of my, on the first day when I walked out of my class and I had a wonderful experience and I had these, we call fellows, okay, at Teach for India we call fellows, okay, and I had these other fellows walking in with terrible stories, like children are jumping, they're tearing charts, they're like beating other kids and there were horrible stories. One child spat a cookie on another fellow's face. So these were the kind of experiences we had. And I was like wondering what are they doing and why are they going through such a tough time, and I'm just fine, I'm great, I'm glad, I was really happy. But wait, on the 3rd day, I walked into class and I had my team member had prepared this wonderful chart. We had the best charts in the whole of Institute. And he had prepared a beautiful chart of an Einstein, okay? And it was beautiful. And the next thing I know, these children are all over the place. They're ripping charts. There was absolutely nothing left. There's not a piece of the chart that was left. And we use this adhesive called glue tack. And they put it in the mouth and like I had to run around them and trade with chocolates and like get them to sit. And it went on for the entire day. It took me a day to get them to sit. And it was such a terrible, I can't tell you how bad. I'll never forget that day. And next day, like me and my team members, we got together and like we decided we have to do something about this. And we realized we were a little too slack. Like I was dancing around with them and having a great time, and it's nice, it's great. But remember, you're the boss. This shouldn't take you for granted at any point. You have to make that very, very clear. Okay? They cannot. I keep a distance. Okay? Don't get too close. It's great. Like you can have an emotional bond after a while once you've established that connection. Just wait for a while. When you walk into class, please make sure you're a little firm. You have to be firm. Okay? If you need to like punish a child, you have to. Okay? That's important because they need to really have some serious consequences. Okay? Okay. I want to ask you all, why do you think classroom management is important?
For the very purpose of learning. Otherwise, you wouldn't have any learning happen.
Okay. I'm going to give you a magic stick answer.
So this is a magic stick.
You will get, the person who collects the maximum amount of magic sticks will get a prize at the end of the whole session. Okay. Okay, then start. Why do you think classroom management is important?
Right, because you need to learn, right? They come to your class to learn, and if there is no discipline, there would be no learning. And the whole purpose of coming to the lesson would be useless.
Excellent. Any more ideas?
I think we probably don't have a lot of, authority being shown at home, in the sense that their parents are probably not with them all the time, so there's no guidance, and what they're getting from you is probably all that they're going to see.
You need to participate, okay?
It's emotionally good to feel that you are under control. So at any walk in your life, if you go somewhere that you feel is disciplined, you immediately can feel a bit calmer about things. There's a structure and there's a sense of balance in yourself. There's a good discipline.
So it's basically, y'all are the role models. They're going to look up to you, and this is like the basic, okay? The next thing is like, you can have maximum impact if you have like a proper system in class, okay? You won't waste time, and you can get things done quick. But autofill 1 hour, right? You can do a lot in 1 hour. I know it's really like hardly anything, but you can do a lot. Okay, so just every minute counts. Once you're in the class, every minute matters. Okay, one very important thing that I realized about myself, like initially when I walked into class, I was so nervous. I wasn't calm, I was angry and I'd scream at them and it went on. And I could see that in the class. The class was like not attentive and they knew like I want to get angry and they wouldn't be like calm. When I walked into class, I decided there was a day when I happened to be very calm because I was well prepared for the class. I was very calm. Okay? And that reflected on the class. So your mood is contagious. Okay, that you have to remember this. Okay, if you're calm, it's going to come out. You're going to have a calm class. Okay, your mood really matters. If you all have had a bad day, anything, just forget about it and sit in class. Let go and have a break. That's like very important. Okay? Okay. Now I'm going to give you a lot of strategies. Before that, I'm going to ask you, have any of you had a tough time in class? Okay, so great. So all of us have similar stories, we'll get to that. I'm going to give you an idea. The moment you walk in, how do they enter class? Can you just tell me, like, anybody just share your experience. How do they walk into class?
They just come in running, sometimes pushing one another and quite noisy.
There's no order, right?
Yeah.
Usually in the class already and they're playing and just running around
There's
screaming.
always someone missing, and a lot of significant amount of time is spent in rounding up people. It feels as though they're doing it on purpose.
How much time do you spend, Shreyans, in rounding up people in that 1 hour?
I'd say for 15 minutes.
15 minutes of that 1 hour goes into...
Because people keep wanting to go to the loo, and I know that they don't want to go to the loo so often. So I know that they just like okay, like.
Okay.
Or they come in with their hand over someone else, falling over someone
Yeah.
else,
Kicking,
just to
screaming.
irritate the other person.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what you can do is have a monitor. Okay? Model it for them once. Just say when you walk into class, put a finger on your lips and model it once for them. Okay? Let's start. I can have you the classroom monitor. Make sure you walk in the right. Start. Model. Walking, that's your walking, that's the classroom. Finger on your lips. One hand down. Finger on your lips. That's it. This is how simple it is. If you have this in place, if you keep on repeating this, it becomes a system for them in the class. Okay, that's very important. Come sit. Thank you. Yep. Yes.
I have a doubt about how this is going to work out because like I have my sessions after class.
Okay.
So for the kids, first of all, it's after school. Everybody's excited that they're going home. So everybody is really excited. So I don't know if this will work out.
Okay.
And second thing is, I come only once a week. So they're really excited to see me. So they want to say hi and hello and why didn't you come the last week and how you doing. But then if I don't give them a chance to talk, when I just tell them that okay, come to class with your fingers on your lips, and I don't know how.
You could have some time after you enter class, like you have, see these are the areas you need to be very firm. Otherwise they're going to take you for granted. This is like the easiest system. They just need to walk in, you can spend 5 minutes with them, talking to them and stuff. So you could just spend that time. So you could just like manage and like get some time with anyone. Thank you.
Yes, just to help her out on this point, because even I was taking my kids from December till February, but then they had their exams, and then I had my exams, so I couldn't go back. So when I went back to class, you're like you say, they're all excited and all of that. What you do is you tell them, okay, sit down, and let them tell them, ask me one question at a time, so that I can speak to all of them. Otherwise, I can't understand them. So in that thing, you get to speak to all of them, you get to answer their questions, and at the same time, you calm them down. You tell them form a circle or something like that.
Just to add to this, the school culture may be something, and we as Songground, what we do could be something. So don't feel afraid to be who you are as Songground leaders. In the sense, you don't need to conform to what they do. In the sense, if in that particular school you see that the teachers are a little more lenient, and you feel, oh, I don't know, I think it's whether it's my place, to be a little firm. It's okay if if the kids behave a little differently with you than with the teachers. That's perfectly fine. Don't think that you need to conform to what they're doing. Are you getting my point? Because that is something that could be, a nagging worry in your head, thinking that who am I to do this or say this to the kids? I think that there should be that kind of balance. You as a song choir leader, the kids, the minute they see you, they should know that they have to assemble in class no matter what. Yeah?
What do you do in the case where, there's like a lot of shouting going on even from the part of the educator, and there's like a lot of negative reinforcement, and you just want to cancel it all out. They're not helping in the situation. If anything, they're probably just encouraging the situation, because every time someone pulls a prank on somebody else, and then the teacher snaps and okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, I was teaching third and fourth grade kids, and they were are you monkeys? Are you animals? Are you kindergarten kids? So, and I was why do you need to do that? You just need to, maybe shush them down, maybe distract them, and grab their attention so that you can start speaking again. In that case, and when you do discuss it, sometimes you don't get a very positive response. What do you do then?
Discuss with the NGO people.
Yeah, with the teacher.
So I think even in their Teach for India classes, you will have the next class, which is a non-Teach for India class, where there is absolute chaos to the extent that the teachers are whacking their kids. They're whacking the kids, which is not allowed at all. You could be sent to jail for whacking your kid, and that's happening in her next class.
You could set an example. What I've done is I can see that rubbing off on the other classes, because every now and then I can hear kids screaming from the other class, and I can't tell you what that makes me feel. But it's sort of like rubbing off. There are times when the teacher is not there, I go to the class, and the kids are slowly, it's taking them a while, but they're sitting down and they need not make that noise. And they're just used to it. Sometimes they do a lot of it for just attention. So you will figure out the system for yourself. I'll help you with whatever I've used in my class. Okay? When they walk in, they're coming after school, right? They're exhausted, right? How are you all feeling now? Are you a little bored? Are you exhausted in any way? You've been here since morning, right? Yeah? Stand up. Okay, these are some energizers. If you want, I'll post this up somewhere so that you can read it. Okay? Follow me, repeat after me. Okay? I said a boom, chicka boom.
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 I said a boom, chicka raka, chicka boom.
I said a boom, chicka raka, chicka boom.
Aha.
Aha.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Janitor style.
Janitor style.
I said a broom, sweep a broom.
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 I said a broom, sweeper, mopper, sweeper, broom.
I said a broom, sweeper, mopper, sweep broom.
Aha.
Aha.
One more time.
One more time.
Moon style.
Moon style.
I said a zoom to the moon.
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 I said a zoom, ticka rock to the moon.
I said a zoom, tick a rocket to the moon.
This is the kids are really they'll have a great time. Okay? There's another energizer that you could use. One is very fun. You have to if you use this, it works very well. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Okay? I'll say 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. What will you say? I just taught you in the morning.
1,
2, eyes on you. Okay? Start. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Okay, this is instant. This works very well. Quickly. Okay? There's another thing that you could use to grab their attention quickly. Okay? Okay? That's it. It's as easy. It's very simple. Okay? There's another energizer that we came up with. It's I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. Okay, repeat after me. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. Okay, repeat after me. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert. Follow me, let me finish it. I'm alive, awake, alert, awake, alive, I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. So that's how. Okay? You'll get a hang of it. Let's try it once again. Okay? I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert, awake, alive. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's try it again. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert, awake, alive. Alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. That's it. Sit down. So these are things that can really quickly, you will save a lot of time. Okay?
I probably have to come up with Hindi versions.
Yeah.
You can come up with anything.
There are actually quite a few Hindi energetic ones.
Yeah.
There are.
Do you want to show us one?
Because I used to go to Magic Bus sessions. Magic Bus is an NGO that does sports.
Yeah.
What we do with music, they do it with sports. Before they start their sports sessions, they do a lot of energetic. And there are lots out there in Hindi. All of you are working with Hindi speaking. I can find that.
If you have like a bunch of kids who are like this is a game that my kids came up with, okay? If they're like running all over, have this game in place. It's called ice and water. If you say ice, they have to freeze. If they say water, they can move. Okay? This is something that you can use to get them to sit down. If they're like all over the class. Okay, let's try this. Just move around. Just move around. Ice. Stop. If you say ice, you have to pause.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Oh, sorry.
Water. Ice. Water. Ice. Water. Ice. Water. Okay, this is something that's really cool and it works with the kids again. It's fun. Okay. Another thing. This is now the next section that I'll come up to. Am I going too fast?
Yeah.
Is there any part that you haven't understood? Anything,
Just
please.
a moment to write it down.
Okay.
One more thing. What I used to do with the kids when they start getting distracted is I say stand, but they have to sit, and when I say sit, they have to stand.
Wow.
So it's really it gets their attention because they realize that they have to concentrate on what you're saying. So I'll go sit, stand, sit, stand, sit, and I keep increasing the pace so they have to focus their attention.
Yeah, keep sharing. If you all have any systems like in your class, please keep sharing that. Okay?
Can I just say,
Sure.
it's midday now, okay, and that's when we said we'd have lunch, but we really don't have to. If you're all happy to carry on for a bit, great, because I don't want to interrupt the session, but equally if someone's absolutely desperate to eat, then let me know and I'll zoom in on you and make you look really embarrassed. You quite like to eat now? Oh, right. Would you like to finish?
Anything, I'm fine with anything.
Yes, we just carry on
Whatever's fine
through.
with you all. How long did you
How much?
just give me about like half an hour.
Half an hour,
Half
cool.
an hour, good? Yeah, sure?
Cool.
Since you already started.
No problem. There's no, I know myself. Okay, so another thing. Please, do any of you have a tracker in class? A student tracker, like the progress?
No, Victor and Prita.
Yes.
You'll have one?
Right, like I teach music, so we teach piano, so we have a tracker for every child and we keep it like you have the bulletin for each kid after class everywhere.
Is it like visibly there in the class? Can the kids see it? No, right? That's so important to have it in the class. Okay, if they know what their growth is, that's going to get them, that's going to motivate them to like work hard. Okay, the same for behavior management. Okay, if there's a child, the system that we have in our class is it's very simple. I just want to like ask you all to like, I'm going to give you all like about 5 minutes. I just want you to think of a system that you can use for behavior management. It can be anything. It can be nothing that's great. It can be just come up with something quickly. How would you want to see behavior management in the class? How would you want to track that in the class? Have it visibly there for them? And I just want to know. Just draw something. Prita?
I'm sorry, I did not quite understand what you meant by
Okay.
tracker.
A tracker is something that the children can see. It's basically for me in my class. What I've done is I've had like different levels, like good, then there's something that's like sitting in its place, and then like excellent behavior, and then the last thing, the consequence that we have is like take to the principal, there's a warning, miss recess, stuff like that. So that is like a behavior tracker for our class. Okay, and we have like these small pockets beside each thing, and there are these I've just like put some ice cream sticks with the kids' names. Okay, and I keep placing them in the pockets. So if the child is misbehaving, I bring it down to a level. If he's better, I bring him down to the I upgrade him. So that's how it works. The kids can see it and they're aware of what's happening and what level they're at, what's going to happen with them next, stuff like that. So please have something like this in the class. Have you all got it quite right? Yes?
Giving chocolates to people who like behave well. At
See,
the end of
again,
the-
like chocolates is something that I'm trying to avoid because I don't want to have that system always. So what I do is I bring about something that's useful for them. Okay, this is another system that I'm using in my class. This is working very well because I have a very noisy class and I have this child who's like, he's extremely naughty. He beats up everyone possible, all sizes, it doesn't matter. That he was telling me about his experience where he chased a policeman. Yes. So he is extremely naughty. He just can't sit. I've been speaking to his legs for the entire week. His head will be under the bench, legs will be on top. He just can't sit. He'll be running all over under the bench. He'll be out of the class in 2 minutes. He'll stare out of the window. He has absolutely no interest in my class. Okay? So this is really working well with him. And incentives are very, very important. I'll get to the incentive part, but this is something that I'm using. So it works well. Okay? A behavior tracker is very important. Please have it in your class. Okay? And make sure it's like there for the kids and make them responsible for it and like have proper consequences. The consequences are so important. I know it's really tough to like be harsh and stuff. You would have to. Otherwise, what's going to stop them? There's absolutely nothing. They know you're going to be like, you're going to let them go. There's nothing that's going to happen. And they can continue with their behavior next day. They'll go on.
When you say harsh, it means, you know, you don't need to raise a hand,
exactly.
you don't need to raise your voice. But there are just certain things that really, really get to them. Like, for example, taking away a little privilege, which is so close to their heart. Like, you know, you can have like a wisdom sticker, you know, which is like a star, which may just be like a ridiculous, stupid, silly sticker. But for them, it may mean the world, you know. So if you take that away, it's like their hearts just sunk, you know. So things like that, you don't, when we say harsh, it really doesn't mean, you know, like corporal punishment in any form.
One thing that I forgot to tell everyone, what I use in my classes, like if they're making a lot of noise, what I do, zip your mouth, zip your mouth, zip it, zip your mouth, zip your mouth, lock it. Or what I do is I ask another child to like collect it, or I'll ask them to throw it and I'll collect it and keep it in my pocket. So this is something that really works with them. So they're really excited about stuff like this. Okay? Please have positive reinforcement in the class because if a child is doing well, please recognize it. I know there are a lot of kids, sometimes they're making a lot of noise and there's this one child who's sitting quietly in a corner. You're not going to recognize her. So you can see Tamra sitting quietly in a corner. She's listening to Didi. These are things, looking at her, the other kids will listen. They'll follow the same instructions. They want to be like acknowledged and stuff like that. So that's so important. Okay? For me, basically, like if a child if a child is really being very good and if there's something like if a child has collected a lot of actually magic sticks, we call these magic sticks by the end of the week. On Fridays we have the system where we give out prizes. Prizes again, they're not chocolates. We make sure we don't give them chocolates. Okay, so it's like basically all useful stuff. Okay, so they're like pencils, glitter, art material, colored paper. It can be something so simple. You need not spend a lot. You do not have to spend. That's not the purpose. Kids get happy with the most meaningless thing or not. They're just so happy with you. Give them a sticker that will make them happy. That's all. That's all it takes. Okay, so like there are like there are a lot of fellows who come up with some innovative techniques. So what they do is like spend time with like just sitting beside we call ourselves Didi or Bhaiya. Bhaiyas are the okay. So they sit beside us. Like just sitting beside the teacher will be a great incentive, rather than sitting at the back at the last row. Okay, something like that. Or spending time on Didi's laptop, or play a game on the phone, or choose a song. I mean, for y'all, you could use something that the child will select a song of the day and stuff like that. That will really work. Or spend time, have a one-on-one time, have some time with Didi or Bhaiya alone. Stuff like that. So these are very simple things. You don't have to spend anything. Okay, you need not come up with something that's just get down there. Something that's very simple. again for negative reinforcement, this is like a must, because if you're really slag, you're lovable, you're hugging them, just try keeping a little distance. When I say distance, like sometimes like there are things where we cuddle them, we hug them. Sometimes they take us for granted. So just make sure you can snap back into a firm person and you can switch roles constantly. Okay? Now for negative reinforcement, what I do is I take this back. Okay? Worst come to worst. If the child is really, really misbehaving, I take them to the principal's office. So for y'all, you can take them to a person of authority, whoever's there at the NGO, anyone they're scared of, and just make sure they don't beat them. Okay, just to scare them a little. That's it. That's all. Your entire purpose is just to make sure anyone can be. You can come up with something. I don't know. It's all subjective again. Y'all may have your different systems in your schools. So there's something that works for me.
Is this something that's feasible, you think?
Does it work?
When your friend Katie Price had come down, and she suggested that you just stare at them silently if suppose it's like all chaotic. And I tried that once. I mean, right? And then next time, I mean, it was like this nuclear reaction, chain reaction thing going on. Okay, I mean, if it worked to one group, there was like this other bunch who didn't care about it, and then they trigger something over here, and then these guys would start, reacting, and then maybe there'd be another kid who's like sitting quietly, like you guys again. So, is there something I'm not doing right? I mean,
I've tried that and it doesn't always work. Like staring silently at whoever starts misbehaving, it doesn't always work.
Are you doing it consistently, repeatedly?
No, I reserve it for special occasions.
No.
Christmas.
She suggested don't use it too often, otherwise it'll like not be effective or like as a last resort.
It would be a
Like,
waste of time. because
You could do
Ladies.
something as simple as just like going close to the child, just tapping while you're talking, so you can then go. So the child is aware of the fact that you're like you know what he's doing and what he's doing. So, okay, another thing that I tried out in the class, so that it's children really like they get upset at the smallest things. So what we do is like if a child is talking and just talk. Just talk. Yeah. Okay. So what we do is the rest of the kids will come and do, and it's just. So it's like the entire class is getting disturbed. Okay? So this is something that you can use.
So the kids do it.
The kids. They sit in a bed. Let it
Oh,
go.
so they do it to each other.
Yeah.
Could we do it once? Could we just
Okay.
do it once?
So like he keeps quiet. He knows that everyone's watching.
So this obviously will take some time.
It'll take a while. You need to be very firm. Again, I told you.
Bigger group.
There's
The
just
thing is-
one slight problem. If I try out something like this in class, and I've tried similar things, and what happens is that they're so amazed by it that the guy will just keep talking and he'll be like waiting for the rest to actually start talking.
Actually, that
It
happens.
becomes like a fun experience for them, and I don't know what to do after that.
That does happen.
I think we're over. It's again. I told you these are.
I just want to say, my classes, and now that I realize they're actually very well behaved after listening to all these stories. What I do is, I don't know about the age group, but the ones that I'm working with are around 10, 11 years old. And so I tell them that I'm going to treat them like adults, and I'm like, see, when I ask you to be quiet, you're going to act like adults, and be quiet. And so that really works because they start looking at themselves differently. They realize, oh, we can't be running around and behaving childishly. We're not children anymore. So they start taking themselves a bit seriously, and they take you seriously as
I
well.
think that's so important because they're responsible for their own actions, and if you like can incorporate something like that, it would be.
So one thing that I tried, if you see one kid who is absolutely so for example, real example, my age group is from 8 and above, 8 till 18. So I have the small ones sitting in the front and the big ones sitting at the back. Also, the way, luckily I have a coordinator who's always there. They're already seated when I enter the classroom, and they're seated, they have a gap between each other, so you can't easily mess around like so that's one thing. Secondly, there's this one small kid who was like completely uninterested, running around. And I said, okay, you come and sit with me. So I asked him to come and sit with me, facing the others, so he can listen more clearly to what I'm saying, and he was wearing a bodyguard t-shirt. So I said, hey, the bodyguard, yeah, mera bodyguard, you're my bodyguard, so stay with me. You know, don't go front. You have to be with me. So yeah, so that was one thing.
To add to that, actually, often the naughtiest ones will be wanting attention, and they'll be being naughty because they want your attention individually. So if you, as you said, if you bring them up and you give them a job, so you say, okay, I want you to conduct with me, or I want you to be in charge of counting the beats, or you're going to take this group and you're going to tell this group what to do. I think that can be a really useful thing. Occupy the naughty ones. Occupy them, like make them do stuff.
Also going back to what Ayesha was just saying about the fact that when he walks in the room, the NGO coordinator has already got them sat down already, and it was similar like that in your school. But I know that Astrid and Tamara, that so wasn't happening, and what added to that being a problem was that there was no kind of they had kind of had space, but they weren't really able to sit down or able to stand in any one place. But I think it would be really good if when you walk into the rehearsal room, that it feels like the room has been prepped for a rehearsal, for the transition from a classroom environment to a rehearsral. It's very different. And for that to happen, I think it would actually be really good. And it's something we need to talk to Teacher India about, and to Teacher India about, is to get all the chairs and desks put back so they don't have furniture to fling around like was going on in your place, or tables to jump up on and stack in the corner. I mean, it's, it only encourages, and pencil cases and books. I think if you can avoid them having books, even like if you can do it as much by memory as possible, because otherwise it's fiddling and throwing around.
I think, Joe, that was just the worst class I've had.
But it's great to have seen it because we now know what can happen.
And I was like, oh my god, like Joe's come all the way just to see this. It's the worst behavior.
No, I was very glad I saw it. I was say very glad I saw it. So don't worry.
Okay, do you have like an incentive system in your class? Any of you?
I just wanted to add to the previous one. What I used to do is I used to have like a thinking corner. So I used to tell the kids, I would, like you said, I'm going to treat you like adults.
Yeah.
And I believe that you're going to behave that way. But if you don't,
I don't know.
you have enough time.
I know, but I've got to smoke tickets.
And how
So you have to go like tonight and then back. It's fine. I've got time.
be there for 5 minutes.
I've got to be there at 2:15.
We'll be there, we'll reach the Papa Hall in 20
That makes
minutes.
us start thinking, and I think
In 20 minutes. So,
5 minutes around.
it's pretty early.
What is it now?
12:20. It could be like
This
2.
is so sweet, and then he comes back and he's fine.
But does that work with the naughty
Yeah,
ones?
I've got an hour.
It does, to a large extent, it does.
But you
Thank you
should
very
put two naughty ones together in the thinking.
I wouldn't do that. So I'd have 2 thinking corners, but by that time they know you're serious, and then they won't.
What I've done is basically like there are I have like a bunch of naughty kids in my class. I make them the class monitor. So they're responsible for the class. If they're quiet, since they're the leaders, they get a magic stick. If they make sure the other kids are quiet, they get another magic stick. That works well, so they're quiet. There is no one to create an office. That's like, you have a question?
Yeah, once when I did this to one of the naughty kids, I made him in charge. He actually started basically reporting all the ones he didn't like. No matter what, even if they were like paying attention, he said, "You come with me," and he's taking on. And I found it even harder then to like call him back and tell him, "No, you can't do this," because already he's in charge and he's like taking them away and taking them to the what do you call them? The NGO person, no?
Coordinator.
The coordinator, yeah.
So rather than doing that, rather than giving them that much of authority, what you could do is just give them something simple, like the person, just ask them to name one child who's quiet in the class, and that one child alone will get something, get an incentive. Like, I use this again, I'm going to constantly use this because I'm going to use this in my conversation because I use this a lot in my class. So what I do is, I give that one child a magic stick. So the rest of the class at the same time is quiet, they're eagerly waiting to earn this. Okay, just make sure you don't give him complete authority to take the child to the
I
NGO.
can so picture them fighting over it. It's like,
We could talk about it later. We can work something out for sure. Okay, again, for incentives, do you all have anything again? No, right? Stars. Okay, that's great. That's brilliant.
There are these teach media fellows.
That's
Keep
brilliant.
giving them
we give them stars. Like there are these small stars, we give you that's a bit. So if you see if like a child's answer something, like if you ask them to like talk about something or like has got a note right, what you could do is just give me a high five, give me a high five, give me a high five. That's it. That's all. Something like give me a high five. Give me a high five. That's it. So you need not like you just make sure you're moving all the time and they know like you're aware and you can go and like have a small tap when you're talking and stuff like that. Then make them the class leader. Okay, that's something that's a privilege and keep changing that every day. Okay, that can be like the Friday bonus, something like that. Okay? Then they can choose the song for the class that I told you all about that, right? Okay? And what we do is we have this board where I've just made a simple chart. Okay, if a child has really done well, I just write the child's name on a star and I put it up on the wall of fame. Okay? So that again, that's something that they're waiting for their names to like come up there and stuff like that. Okay? Something that's very important, what I use a lot in my class is the claps. Okay? If a child is doing well and you want to recognize that, you can have, we have like these various claps that we use. Okay? This is a bubble gum clap. Follow this. Okay? Ask the kids to come up with something on their own. Okay? A child in my class came up with a dabang clap. Okay? That's it. Okay, then this is a tapori clap. One, you just get a hanky behind you and then a clap. And there's a magic clap. Okay, stuff like this you can use. Or just as simple as 2 clicks together. 1, 2, 3, 2 clicks. Together. 1, 2. That's it. So this can be like, you can move on quickly and like, you can come up with your own claps, okay? We have a chicken clap. Something as simple as that.
What do you use these for?
This is basically for child done well, if you feel like, if she's answered a great question. Okay? So we're going to recognize that as a class. We're going to give her a power clap. Something. Okay. Do you all have issues with like, do the kids want to constantly go to the loo?
Yes.
Drink water.
All the time.
All the time, right?
All the time.
They don't want to go to the loo.
I know.
Okay? They want to have a great time just splashing water. Have a great time.
I know that already.
Yes, that's it. So have a loo pass. Like what do you do? I know this is like something that's so trivial, but it's so important because they're constantly going to the loo. Every 5 minutes they want to go to the loo. Okay, make sure they get to go like either I don't know. I think Joe was telling me about someone who has this system where the kids go right at the beginning of the class. Like that's done.
Yeah.
Okay, you could have something like that. Or what you can do is I take this back from them. So they lose a magic stick if they want to go to the loo. Okay, they have to give one. This is like a loo pass. Or create a proper pass for them and give them like 3 passes a day, and they can go to the loo thrice a day in the entire day. Okay, you all can have just about 1 pass or 2 passes. You all can create something like that. Okay, these loo passes are very important because I'm telling you they're not going to the loo. Okay, they are having a gala time out there, and that's like we've been there. Most of us have been there. Okay.
But you know, when we were little, we noticed in our first class, the kids absolutely love singing and dancing.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, so they don't want to do stuff to get away from the class.
There are some kids, like for example, he said, that are like it's again subjective. You may not need this in your class. Okay, this is just like I'm giving you all the pointers. You can use it, but if you'll ask similar situations, you can use this in your class.
I guess it also depends on the age group. You know, like younger ones like 5 or 6 may behave like this, but at 10 we want to go.
Our age group is 8 to 10. But I'm just curious, like the other choir leaders, how often do you have your sessions? Once a week, and it's 1 hour. And you all communicate in Hindi generally, or how does it work language, right?
Hindi.
It depends on the institution
Hindi.
you're working with.
Yeah.
Because in our case, thing is we have kids who speak all different languages. Some of them speak Kannada, some of them speak Tamil, some of them speak Hindi. So it's a real challenge for us communicating with them. So even if we want to get their attention and keep them disciplined, if we say something in Kannada, it's not even going to reach the entire group. And sometimes, you know, we have the kids translating what we're saying to each other. So it's like I'm telling them shh, and then she's turning to her and saying, Akka is saying shh in another language, you know. So that's a really big challenge for us. So sometimes I think in this case, like because we've got the same age group 8 to 10, but what works more for them is actions.
Yeah.
Because language
lot of them do start clapping and do that with us, and then we get everyone quiet, or we get everyone to sit down.
They ape you a lot. So like if you just ask them to sit down, even if you don't use words, that's fine. They just gonna like you just have to give them a lot of like gestures and all that to work well.
Joanne, out of interest, what have you started teaching them?
We just had one class. With
Yeah.
them. So that day we got them all to introduce themselves, and
Yeah.
we did if you're happy and you know what, clap your hands,
Mhm.
and what would you go be.
Cool.
And that works well because I don't know, our kids, I mean, you guys seem to have kids who communicate really well because our kids, they're not even taught English. So for us to
It's a
teach
Kannada
them,
medium school.
yeah.
They don't know English.
So for us to teach them the English lyrics, it takes time for us to even explain the meaning of the word like happy and clap and stamp and things like that.
It's Kannada. So what I do is I do a little bit of Kannada. So I walk up to the kid whom I have a good rap with. So I tell him something in English and he translates it for me. And I ask him, dude, is this right? And then he tells me, yeah, this is right. Then I announce it to the class. So I learned Kannada from him.
That's a good experience.
What I did because even in my class, no one really understands English. They have no English background. So they all study in Marathi medium. And but I thought I should actually use that as an opportunity. I told him in the very first class that you teach me Hindi, although I know a little bit. I said, I'll practice Hindi with you. Are you ready to practice in English with me? He said, yes, yes, yes. So I actually did English songs, but I started with very small English songs. Like the hello song. Hello everyone, hello everyone. Everyone knows what hello is, even though they don't know English. Everyone I had to explain to you. Glad that you are here. So the only word in that song actually, the new word was glad. So that word I kept repeating. And then I would ask, okay, who can tell me what glad is? Yeah, there'll be a lot of mistakes and finally someone will say, Kushi. Yeah, so glad for it. So yeah, we started with very short English songs so that we don't have lots of words bombarded.
But how do you communicate with them? How do you talk with them in Hindi? You know a reasonable amount of Hindi.
Yeah, now I know.
That's good. We don't know Kannada.
I'm still learning.
So luckily for us, we have this person from Matt. He knows Kannada. So he helps us communicate with the children. But we don't know how long he's going to keep coming to the classes.
Right.
So either we got to learn Kannada real fast or we have to find somebody else.
But like you said, non-verbal cues and gestures really work with kids, so it's not going to be such a hindrance after a point of time because the kids will get to know what what you mean, when you do a certain thing or behave a certain way. The kids just take on like this, And a lot of times you may think that, the kids don't understand as much, but trust me, they grasp every single detail that you do. I mean, they are just so ridiculously attentive. So
You can also, I've done some work with deaf children and doing sign languaging. And there's a simple song, we're all together again, we're here, we're here. We're all together again, we're here, we're here. Who knows when we'll be all together again, singing all together again, we're here, we're here. Just simple things that mean the words and the actions go together so they can understand and they can remember the words and the actions. I mean, little things like that, you can make up your own ones.
And the heads and shoulders, knees and toes thing we did earlier.
Yeah.
Just do that in all different languages that you are having to work with. And then you've got, how many languages are there?
Mostly two, but everyone understands.
We'll do it with maybe Hindi and English, and you've got 4 different versions, 4 verses of the song. And that would be great for them to have kind of cross understanding of what each other have. Do you know what I mean? You could maybe use it as a bonus and kind of use music and songs to your advantage, maybe, in order to help you out. And them.
And also just to add, kids in the red light areas, that's where Ayush teaches and where Tamra teaches, none of them are from Maharashtra. Most of them are migrants from West Bengal and Karnataka. So when the kids come in, they're all speaking via gestures. So even the NGO folks are figuring stuff out, like a new unique language with them. So that's something that all of us at some point of time will face. So we just need to use music as a way of communicating. That's the whole point, right?
It's a language, let's face it is a language, music is a language. And, Ali had that song earlier without any words. And maybe get a song and just do it all to laugh.
Yeah.
Just do the copy, do rhythmic call and response, copying, maybe build things up that way. They're all suggestions, I'm not saying that would work, but you know, you just gotta, yeah, explore. Yeah.
Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is teamwork. Okay, please make sure that the kids are like, firstly they have to be responsible for the class. Like, for example, when I'm putting up charts, I ask them, where should I put this up? Does this look nice? Should I put up another chart? Should I work on this? And they come up, they put stickers and decorate the class, and they're so active and they feel responsible. It's their class. Okay, that's very important. And teamwork. There's this child in my class who's doing. She's really very weak. Okay, but when she does well, like I make it a must to like recognize her. There are like a couple of kids who are weak. So there is this thing where like we've come about this whole system where the brighter kids will come and help her. Okay, if she needs to learn something, we'll come and help her. So there's no jealousy in the class. There's something that comes quickly, and some of the kids feel like they're not getting enough attention, and that may lead to further problems. So like, please start building an atmosphere where the kids are like working as a team. Okay, they want each child in the group to like learn a note. They want all of them to like give them like work as you can divide them, or you can divide them into teams and like have this group system and have a team leader for each group. If you have like 12 kids, divide them into 4 groups of 3 and keep a leader for the group. So this is something that they're again responsible for their groups. Okay, they're working together as a class. Okay, please build that. That's very important. Okay, have you all been in a situation where you're absolutely angry with the child? You just can't control the child. You're going to lose your temper. You wanted to raise your hand. I mean, be honest. I've been in that situation as well. Any of you, be honest. Yeah? I've been there. I'm telling you, I really want it. I swear to God, I just can't hold myself back. But you know, there's this, I'm going to just tell you this very short story. It's about a student in my class named MOV009. Okay? He's this tiny guy who sits in a corner, very quiet. He's got like these big frames and he'll sit and he'll do his work all by himself. And over a span of time, when I saw him, like, his grades were dropping, not paying too much attention and stuff. So like, I had this one-on-one conversation with him and I spoke to him. And he told me what was happening. His mother orders for this special stick that's really like, I don't know, she spends a lot of money to get that stick to thrash him. She sends him to a tuition teacher who beats him up even more. And he's a bright child. I can't tell you, I've never seen a child like that. He sobbed. He just was sobbing and he begged me to like tell his mom to stop sending him to his tuitions and to take him back home. And he came to me repeatedly for the next 5 days because his mom keeps sending him to the school, to the tuition teacher in spite of me. I can't tell you how traumatized the child was. The moment she moved him to the tuitions, he started doing so much more. I can see that confidence. Beating is not an option at all. I can't tell you what it does to me. Even now, I've made it very clear in the class, I'm not going to raise my hand. But when I call them, when I'm angry with them, I get them to sit. Even if I like go to like do something, they'll take a photo. Maybe like they'll shrug and stuff like that. So that's something that just don't even like, you shouldn't come to that situation. If you're angry, walk out of the class, calm down, and then walk. Okay, beating is absolutely not happening. Okay? And the next slide is really important. This is the most important part.
Could you read it, Prita?
Okay. Have a plan for the children, or they're going to have a plan for you. Okay, please plan your days because I'm telling you, they're going to create roughness if you don't have a structure for the day. It's as easy as that. Okay, please don't forget to let go and have fun when you're with the class. Please let go. Just bring out the child in you. They want to see that side. And I'm telling you, I know there's a point where you really believe you're the teacher and you need to be strict and firm. There are times when you should just let go and have fun. That's so important. You're going to like come down to their level and they're going to know you a little better. Just have that's going to help build that connection. And again, I mentioned this earlier, your mood is contagious. Please make sure you forget whatever you've gone through. If you've had a bad time, anything, just forget that once in class. So you have to give these kids a better opportunity. We're doing something that's fantastic. So you should be proud of yourself for that. Just the moment when you walk in, just be calm. You all have questions, anything, or you're going to have a discussion of what they're using, anything.
it'll be awesome that even in the sessions now, we can practice this among us, just to get used to it, because it can be a little awkward, and when you go to a class and you're all awkward, then the kids will not take you seriously. So if you just let go of all your awkwardness, right here, let's just thrash it out. So when Ali's taking her session and you guys are making a noise, Ali is going to say 1, 2, and you guys have to say eyes on you. Just simple stuff like that. Let's just emulate that in class. Let's just start giving these appreciation claps. Let's just do that. It may be a little awkward initially, but let's just make that happen. Yeah?
This afternoon, I'd really like it if you would think over lunch about having something that you're going to teach all of us, and we'll all have a group sort of discussion about how well it's gone.
Brilliant. Can I just also say, if on another note, if we are pausing here for lunch, the lunch now back in about an hour, roughly. Ayush has got a gig here tomorrow night, and if anyone wants to come, what's the deal? Is it free entry or no? Well, no, we'll have a guest list. We'll have a guest list then for us, because Tina will sort it. It's fine. So if anyone would like to go to the gig tomorrow, it's at 9 o'clock. It's here, and if you want to go, just give me your name and I'll put your name on the guest list. Okay, so 9 o'clock tomorrow. Shreyan's going to be performing. It's his. In fact, we've got to say a kind of a temporary goodbye to Ayush as well, because this is at the end of the day. Ayush is going to Hamburg to do a really cool program for 2 months. Is it you're away for? 3 months. So this is kind of his goodbye gig tomorrow night. So it'd be nice if as many of us could be here as possible.
Bullfrogs made it sound like I'm going forever. And everyone's asking me, oh, we want to see you again. Yeah, that's what it says. It says farewell gig, bidding farewell to Ayush.
Oh God.
It's all like that. So, but I'll be happy to see you all there. It's going to be.
You're welcome to you when you come
This is actually my. On the contrary, this is actually the debut gig.